Hello, Sea Lion fans, and welcome to this latest edition of Cross Exam. Joining us today, we have Deron Matson, the Assistant Director of Records, and senior men's soccer player, Lucas Purgato. Deron, take it away.
All right, Lucas, I want to say thank you for coming to this interview and letting me interview you. It's been great to get to know you in your time here at Point Loma. You're a very personable guy, and it's always good to see you on campus and chat.
Thanks,
You
Darren.
came to us. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing. I always enjoy meeting up with you in the caf and chatting a little bit. So thanks for doing this.
Oh, definitely. And we have this shared love of Brazilian culture and food and Portuguese language.
Yep, exactly.
Churrasco.
Yeah.
And so you came to us as a freshman in 2017.
Mhm.
And tell me a little bit about what drew you to Point Loma. How did you hear about us?
Okay. First of all, I like your shirt in the background there.
Thank you.
And so I was living in Brazil for my junior year of high school. For those who don't know, I'm originally from Brazil. So I was living there, and I was starting to look at colleges in the U.S. to like go to college and also play a sport. Because in Brazil, you either kind of have to choose one or the other. Once you turn about 18 years old, you either go straight to the pros or you go to school. There isn't so much of like college sports. So my mom is a teacher, my dad's really big on academics. So they were like, "You're not gonna just give up school to try becoming pro." So I was like, "Yeah, I think you guys are right." So I started looking at universities here, and I ran across one video on YouTube of this residency academy in a small town in Arizona called Casa Grande. And it was a little town in the middle of nowhere, but they had this kind of like soccer oasis in the middle of the desert where a bunch of players from all over the country and some internationals as well could live there and train, and they would help them to get scholarships and play in college. So since I still had one more year of high school left, I thought that was going to be the best idea for me. So I decided to go there. I tried out for the academy. It was Real Salt Lake Academy, and thankfully I made it. And then during that time there, I spent 2 years there. And during that time, there was a camp, and coaches from all over the country came to kind of watch us play. And one of the coaches was Gareth Tomlinson, who was the ex-assistant coach here for Point Loma. And so I got into contact with him, telling him like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at this camp. I love to connect," because I saw a little bit of the campus. I researched about it, and I saw that it was in San Diego, so I was really excited about that. And so we met at the camp. He liked me. He saw me playing. He liked me, and then he invited me over to Loma to actually do a tryout for Loma. And then coaches liked me, and thankfully now I'm here.
Amen. Great. And what's your earliest memory of that, of being on campus, and how did it strike you?
Yeah, so this is actually kind of funny because a lot of people, when they come, they always mention, like the ocean. It was such a beautiful view and all. But the day that I came, it was one of the ugliest days I've ever seen in San Diego.
And you still came.
Yeah, it was like really overcast, really windy, really foggy. I couldn't even really see the ocean. But just the training session was really good. Like I really enjoyed the training session. The guys there were very welcoming to me at first, the coaches. So that stuck out for me. I felt like if I went there, it was going to be somewhere where I was going to feel welcomed. So that was probably the main reason why I chose to come here over other schools.
Oh, great. And when did you start playing soccer?
Probably when I was 4 years old. I think I was in like my first little club team at 4 years old. Yeah. Soccer runs in the family. My grandfather was a pro player in Brazil, so it runs in the family.
And as you said, você é paulista.
Yeah, São Paulo.
São Paulo.
Yes.
Tell me, what's your favorite team there in Brazil?
Oh, São Paulo. São Paulo
Okay.
Futebol Clube for sure, yeah. Die-hard fan. And that's
Awesome.
it was actually funny because my grandfather and my dad are both Palmeiras fans, which is one of my rivals. And my grandfather was like a die-hard Palmeiras fan. So when I told him I was gonna be a São Paulo fan, he was not happy. My dad had to have a talk with him and say, hey, he's just a kid, let him choose.
Yeah. So who were some of your favorite players or someone you looked up to and emulated?
Yeah, my like soccer idol growing up was always Kaká, Brazilian player. He also played for São Paulo and then for AC Milan, Real Madrid, you know, the Brazilian national team. And he was always my idol growing up. I always watch his videos and try to do things that he used to do. Because I really liked him on and off the field too. He's a Christian. He's a good guy, and so I looked up to him in both ways.
Very good.
Yeah.
And when you came to Point Loma, there may be nothing to this, but I'm just curious. You wore uni number 15, and then sophomore year you switched to number 8. Anything to that? I know Kaká, you wore that at Real Madrid.
Yeah. So my favorite number is actually number 10. Everyone wants to be number 10.
Sure.
But when I came as a freshman, it was already taken. And so coach gave me a 15. And then my sophomore year, Tim got number 10. He had a great freshman season, so it went to him. And then I chose number 8. I told coach, can I switch to number 8? Because that's kind of like my position. You know how soccer has numbers for specific positions and all, and number 8 is kind of like where I play on the field. So I chose that, and it also had to do a little bit about Kaká wearing the number 8 in São Paulo and in Real Madrid. So
another number that popped out at me when I was reading your bio was 17. So freshman, sophomore, junior years, you played in 17 games, most all games, and it says a lot about your consistency and your dependability. Were you ever plagued at all by injuries?
Coming into my sophomore year, I had a back injury. So I was out for, I think, all the preseason games, and I think for the first official game I was out. And but thankfully I was able to recover. But it was a little hard to start off because my off season wasn't as good because I was, instead of training, I was recovering because of my back. So I took a while to get going in my sophomore year, but thankfully that was just it. It was nothing major. So thankfully, knock on wood, I'll keep like that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what are your plans after this year in terms of schooling or soccer or both?
Yeah, so I've decided to come back for another semester because I didn't want to end it like this, you know, like playing for nothing really. I wanted to have a real season to end on because like I said, I'm a senior, so I'm gonna go ahead and graduate and then start a master's in August. I'm still deciding if I do the MBA or the sports management master, and then play out that final season, and then after that, I don't know yet what my plans will be, but I'm excited to stay in San Diego at least for another semester for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be great to have you back. Yeah. And speaking of that, also, I can't imagine, I wasn't an athlete in college, but being a student athlete, you seem to juggle both of those well, being a student, being an athlete. Do you have any keys to success along those lines? I mean, 3 times every season you've been selected for Pac-West Conference academic honors and accolades. Tell me any keys to that you have learned or can pass on?
Yeah, I think it was my upbringing. I've always played sports my whole life, so I've kind of always had to manage both things at the same time. And so, and like I said, my mom is a teacher. My dad was really also pretty strict with like doing homework on time and things like that. So I've always kind of had that responsibility. And I think that by playing sports my whole life, I was kind of forced to manage my time well. And so I think that's something that's really key for us student athletes, because we don't have like the whole afternoon off like many other students do. You know, we go to school in the morning, and then we train in the afternoon, and then we have usually the nighttime to actually do our homeworks and projects. And if we don't separate at least like an hour, 2 hours a day to do that, with all the traveling and all that goes on, then we'll really struggle. So I think it was probably like my upbringing and the fact that I've always played sports, and then knowing how to manage my time well.
Right. And is there a point in time or a specific event or an honor that you've received in your time here at Point Loma, something you look back on that is kind of your most an accomplishment you're most proud of, or a personal accomplishment?
Mm-hmm. I think for me, it's with the team. It's my freshman year when we made it to playoffs, and we were able to host for the first time in history playoff game here at Point Loma. I think we were ranked number 2 in the region, so it gave us the chance to host the playoff game here. And it was a tough loss. I think we should have won that game, but just the fact that we made Point Loma get that far, first time in history, was really special, and something that I'm really proud that I was able to achieve along with the guys. And just the atmosphere, everyone was at the game. It was really cool. So I've been wanting to come back to that ever since. So hopefully this last semester we'll be able to get there.
That's right. That's right. You've been a marketing major. Have you always been a marketing major, and how did you land on that?
No, so the first 2 years, I believe I was just a regular business admin major, and I was always like thinking, what minor should I get? And for a short period of time, I was a athletic coaching minor, but then I saw like all the coursework that was going to be required, and it was a lot like kinesiology type of courses, and that's not really my interest. And so I talked to you a lot, and you helped me out a lot with this, and then I decided to choose marketing as my like focus with business. And I've been liking it so far. I don't know if that's what I want to do after, to be honest, but
sure.
I think it's helped me with just being able to market even myself out there more, and kind of grow out of my comfort zone a bit.
Yeah, that's great. We talked previously about the just balancing your time as a student and an athlete, and how your afternoons are filled and evenings with study. When you do get free time, what do you like to be involved in?
Yeah, I love exploring new spots in San Diego and around. So every time I have like an afternoon off or Sunday, I always try to go somewhere new that I haven't been to before. Like even if it's new beaches around, or like places like national parks, like Joshua Tree. I'm actually going to Joshua Tree this weekend. I haven't been there yet, so I'm gonna just exploring new places, traveling outside and around Southern California. I love doing that a lot. And then I recently started getting into surfing a little bit.
Oh,
because
there you go.
Yeah, I figured that after 4 years in California, if I go back and tell my friends in Brazil that I don't know how to surf, it wouldn't be good. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
That's got to be on my bucket list too. I've been here quite a while longer, and get
it's
that
tough. It's tough, but
underway.
slowly but surely, I'm getting there.
Great, that's awesome. And then I had a question just along the lines of soccer. And did you sense a difference in the style of soccer? Seeing the movie Pele, they talk about
Ginga?
Jinga.
Yeah.
And is there anything to that? And did the style you learned, did that give you an edge, you feel?
Yeah, so I actually kind of grew up with both styles, because from ages 8 to 14, I lived in Houston, Texas. But then I also went back and played in Brazil for a couple of years before coming back to the US after that. So I kind of feel like I'm a mixture of both styles. And so yeah, it is a different style for sure. I feel like in the U.S. it's a lot more of a physical style, like players going hard all the time, like always just go go go, and a lot of running around. And in Brazil, I feel like the style is more relaxed, more calm down, more take care of the ball. Go forward, bring it back, go to the other side. It doesn't have to go all the time, which I feel like here they're always looking to go all the time. And I feel like it has helped me in certain ways. That also probably maybe has cost me in other ways, because uh, I'm not like a big physical player, so that part of it has cost me a little bit to adjust to that style, which I'm always trying to do more and more. But I also feel like it's always good when you have someone else coming in with a different style and adding on to the team, and I feel like that has helped me as well.
Good perspective there, and thank you for enlightening me. I appreciate the game and need to learn more about it. So this has definitely helped me along those lines as well. We see your performance and the performance of other players on the field. I realize there's a lot that goes on behind that and behind the scenes, and a lot of people here at Point Loma, staff members, coaches, that help to get you to where you need to be to play and keep the grounds and the facility up. Just wondering if you would have any shout outs for anyone, whether it be coaches or the support staff or teammates.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everyone here, all the coaching staff, and including Eric and Trevor, have all contributed to our success on the field. I can't leave anyone out. So Coach Wolf, he lives and breathes soccer. So he's always, if you have a conversation with him, it's going to be about soccer most likely. And so he's always looking for ways to improve and ways to, be better tactically. And so he's always trying to give us the new ideas that he's learned throughout. So, and then also Brett, he's our assistant coach. He's a former pro player. So every time he says something, you got to listen, because he's been there, he's done it. So you got to take it into consideration. And then, yeah, like I said, Eric and Trevor, they've been helping us do the stuff off the field in the weight room. And they've been really helpful with sending us programs, even in the summer or during COVID, where we had to do workouts at home and all that. I'm sure it was tough for them to, be creative with that, but they did a great job, and it helped us to be able to stay in shape at least, So, and thankfully it paid off, because this spring we did really well. So shout out to all the coaches.
Yeah, great, thank you. Again, it's been such an honor and a privilege to know you these years you've been at Point Loma, and also to get to know you better here today through this interview. Would you have any questions of me?
Yeah, for sure. I have one question real quick. I know you mentioned I know this, but maybe you work in records, and you've been a lot helpful to me and all the athletes, but I know for me especially, I always come with you with questions or shoot you a quick email and you always respond. So thank you for that. And then I was just wondering, what's your favorite thing about your job here at Records and working with athletes? And what's your maybe least favorite or most challenging aspect of your job?
Yeah. Probably my least favorite is just emails and volume. And for the many that I respond to, there are many that I need to work on responding more timely to. And it's been increased during the time of COVID, because we can't have the foot traffic, the direct student interaction that I love, where we can talk about an issue and have that immediate back and forth and come to solutions quickly. So the amount of email volume has increased. And,
yeah, I bet.
And so just that, I'll start with that and get to the parts I love. I think graduation day for me is my favorite, and seeing the culmination of 4 or 5 years where a student has poured all this work into and done all the heavy lifting. I feel like we just kind of kind of stamp that
Yeah.
and approve. We do help out along the way, but you all do the heavy lifting on that. It's such a fun time to celebrate with you on that day and to see your accomplishments come to fruition, and then see you all out and about in the community in various fields and vocations. It's great to see as well.
Nice.
And yeah, I feel like I might have missed part of the question there.
No, that was what I asked, but I actually have one more if you don't.
Yeah, sure.
So, with COVID, I've heard a lot of negative things coming out about, mostly negative, but I've also heard people talk about some positive things that have come from it. So I was just wondering for you, like, what has been the most challenging thing about this time in your life, in your career, and what's also been the most rewarding?
Yeah, that's a good question. Work-wise, it has helped us in some ways, I would say, to streamline procedures and efforts and to make them more digital. And so that has helped us to speed things up in a lot of ways. I'm also a volunteer minister, and so I've been a minister for years, and so that's been pretty challenging because church is all about being with people and fellowshipping.
Yeah. And
so that has been something we've worked hard at in this time through Zoom and some socially distanced social outings. But I'm looking forward to the day we get back to worshiping together in person. And then just personally with my family, it's helped us to, I'm the only one here in California, but it's helped us to draw closer together. Yes. We had a regular Zoom meeting going on Sundays for quite a while.
Yeah, we do the same with my family.
Great. Yeah. So I think we've all adapted and learned, and even just hearing about what you did for conditioning and how you shifted gears and did more things online, that's inspiring as well. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Well, those are the questions I had. Thank you, Dan.
You got it. Anytime.